Is that what it is?
Okay, you know something, you're very good in kindergarten class. Nobody actually opened their box.
Not true. I saw Ray do it. I saw Ray do it.
Oh, you know, this is the second time in a week that I've had a tattletale. I try to teach my kids not to tattletale. Nobody likes that. No.
Anyway, now I remember my disclaimer with all due respect. Okay, so I'm not going to offend or insult, particularly the attorneys, probably, or meaning myself, the sensibilities. Anyway, and I want you to know that I dressed up for the occasion.
Yeah.
Okay? And, okay, now you can all open your do-it-yourself, oh, I'm sorry, I call it the DIAC, do-it-yourself architect kit. And as Barbara Gamber said last week, education, what I recommend. Anyway, now I have to explain what's in there, okay? You get paper and pencils. Now that's for sketching details. That's not for anything else. It's not for doodling. It's not for taking shopping lists or any notes. For details. You got graph paper. And that's for doing a plan. When you want to do a little plan layout, okay? Crayons. Well, what can I say? I mean, you guys have a... Oh, we're going to get to that. That's for being creative and sketching and all that. A ruler. Architects, have to draw straight lines. And you should be able to measure. Now, the flashlight is especially good because architects crawl around damp cellars and go into dusty attics, and sometimes there's no power in these buildings, so you really do need that little flashlight. Okay? You have a hand sanitizer for after you've gone through these musty cellars and dirty attics. Clay. And you know, it's funny because I'm looking at the kit and I'm saying, wait a minute, I went to college for this. I just want you to know. Okay? That's useful. Clay is very useful. That's plastiline.
How come there are no scissors?
Now you guys are...
Because you're not trustworthy.
Another disclaimer, these kits are not for anybody under 3, by the way. Okay? And you get some glue. Everybody gets some glue. That's for making models of buildings. I didn't give you the cardboard. You can always find cardboard. There's a business card, and that's very important because that's to refer prospective clients to me. And the telephone number is 203-522-3558. Now, I've also included a diploma. I have white out in my car, and you can cross off my name and write your name in there. Okay? Copy of a license, and I think I gave everybody a license from Russia. Okay, that's very useful in the States. Now, apparently I have never been an architect, because apparently architects are supposed to wear Corbu glasses, okay? So you all got that little architect, okay?
Make your own glasses.
You can't see through those. So, what can I say? Dress code. Apparently architects wear black. There's this big thing on the internet. As you can see, I'm not wearing black, so I must not be one. And then everybody gets a container of Elasto Plasto. Okay? Now I have to read this because it's too complicated. It's a miracle material that architectural students and many designers believe exists. It has unbelievable properties. It can span infinite distances. It can be transparent or opaque, depending on the jury. It can be a foundation, or it has the ability to float in air. Now, if you notice that there is no container of Elasto Plasto, because it only exists in the imagination of architectural students and inexperienced designers. Anyway, there's also, I decided to be cheap. I gave you a representation of a penny, which is what you'll be paid as a young architect in training or as an intern. And the other one is a representation of a nickel, which is about what most clients believe architects are worth. So, and I say, get over it, okay? Okay, I have a few architectural quotes, and then we're not going to talk about me. There are 3 classes of people: those who see when they are shown, and those who do not see. And that's pretty cool because I'll go into a place that someone has lived in for 8 or 9 years, and I'll talk about a detail, and they've been there a lot longer than I have, and they haven't even looked at the detail. Anyway, the greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark. Oh, this is a great one. Never turn down a job because you think it's too small. You don't know where it can lead. I had a client that, the contractor called me and said the client wants to build a garage. And I'm like, it's the last thing I need is to do a garage. Well, it turned out to be a $2 million addition that happened to have a garage in it. So it's a good thing that I went. It was on Willow Street in Southport. Now this is a good one by Frank Lloyd Wright. A doctor can bury his mistakes, but an architect can only advise his clients to plant vines. Now, I had a project that I could see from the Merritt Parkway, and every morning I would actually turn my head away from it because I was so embarrassed. Because the contractor didn't follow a detail, and I had to look at it every day.
Oh.
And let me tell you, I was so pleased when they tore down that addition and did it correctly. I can go by it with pride now, but by golly, he had it right there. An architect's most useful tools are an eraser at the drafting board, or I guess the delete button today, and a wrecking bar at the site. Now, it's funny because I collaborated with an architect from South Africa on some Saturn dealerships, and he would habitually show up at the site with a sledgehammer. And let me tell you, 2 or 3 meetings with this guy, and you did things exactly as we detailed. He would go through, and he would take a sledgehammer to anything he didn't like. It wasn't done according to plans. Okay? Creating tens of thousands of dollars worth of damages and overruns. But by golly, anyway. Frank Lloyd Wright also said, I'm sorry?
How's Saturn doing now?
Well, you only did the building. Come on. Frank Lloyd Wright also said, give me the luxuries of life, and I will willingly do without the necessities. I think it's pretty cool. This tells you where Ludwig Mies van der Rohe came from. Architecture starts when you carefully put 2 bricks together. There it begins. He actually started life out as a mason. So. He also said, I don't want to be interesting, I want to be good. And he also said, less is more. That's where that quote that you've always heard. Some people say less is more is less, etc. But let me tell you, when you want to detail a Mies building, or any particular building, the simpler it is to look at, the more complicated it is to actually make. So that's kind of a turnabout on that. Architecture begins where engineering ends. Now that was Walter Gropius, and I met him once in an elevator, and what a rude man. I mean, you know, it's like, I can't believe you're this famous architect, and you're a SOB, but anyway. Philip Johnson, whom I really don't like, but architecture is the art of how to waste space. I only have 2 minutes. Come on, Lord.
Less is more.
So do your 30-second commercial.
Yeah, okay. The reality of the building does not consist in the roof and walls, but in the space within to be lived. And then, of course, Winston Churchill said, we shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us. Because it is really the most important profession in the world. I mean, far above. Okay. Now, a great referral for me is when you're at a cocktail party and someone is talking about their dream home. Okay? Your ears should perk up and say, ooh, I know an architect that can help you bring reality to your dream home. And give them my card, or at least give me their name. And that's it for my presentation. Any questions? No questions? Oh, yes, Ed.
In this, the pictures that are going around, there's a little blue house that becomes a big white house.
Yes.